Facebook and those who are watching us now and then recording. Hello to everybody from Portugal.
Indeed. Hello to everyone. You're all welcome. We enjoy your company. We enjoy your comments. And we were just talking about the energy that was in the shows last week. And we're hoping to replicate it today with the same sort
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Right. So without further ado, if you're joining us via the ManyChat, thank you. Welcome to the show. And this is Marco and Steven. Now, the names are the wrong way around. I'm Steven. There's Marco. There you go. I'll get that right next time. Now, Marco, do you want to start us off on the topic? Because you came up with the idea of learning through live streaming.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we were discussing what to talk about today, and I thought about the event we had last week, 5 days talking about giving some tips to help you going live stream. And I think about, even though I had some hours doing this and learning all the day, I thought, whoa, what if we talk about how we learn while we are making live stream? Because, for instance, as a businessman or as a businesswoman, one thing that you are always thinking about, I hope so, is new ideas to come to make new content. Okay, I need to make a tutorial, a webinar, but about what? Live streaming, it's a good way to ask people to see through comments what people are asking for, what people's vision, which can help you to rethink about things, put things in another perspective. For instance, last week, and even your guests, which I'm going to talk also about it, are an amazing source of knowledge, of experience, because they are there. They have another point of view. They have another experience, another knowledge that when you ask them, when you listen to them, which is really important. We talked about it last week in the interview show. It's really important to listen. So live streaming is, even though you may think that it's a nice medium to talk about it, believe me, it's a huge, amazing tool to listen, because when people are there with you in real time, they will be more comfortable to share their opinions, to talk with you. That you just have to go through the content you see shared abroad the platforms and see which way of content has more interaction, more comments, if it's the recorded video or if it's the live video. Just watch. It's easy, and you see that you can get lots of insights from that. I don't hear you, Steven.
I'll try.
Okay, now I hear you.
I'll try again, Marco. Listening is so important, and thank you to everybody who's listening to us now on the replay. But if you've got a guest on the show, you've got to show them respect, haven't you? You've got to say, well, I mean, people have actually come to listen and see them, not you.
Absolutely.
As it were. Yeah. And that means that they should be doing the talking most of the time. And we were in a fortunate position. I mean, you've interviewed hundreds of people, and so have I over the years. And we've been able to learn from everybody who's been on our shows. And we can actually select who to interview. And that's a great power. And you were saying on a previous show that people will come and join your show because the reputation you've built, because people have enjoyed being on your show and being interviewed, and actually have told other people about it. And word of mouth is the best ambassador we can have.
Absolutely. I've been told this lots of times. I used to upload my shows after finish, of course, to Google Photos, and then I have there a folder when I put all the shows, and they automatically generate thumbnails. And sometimes I'll go there to search for something, and almost all of the thumbnails are both of us laughing, smiling, happy.
Yes.
And then, oh, it's amazing. For instance, some weeks ago we were talking about how to measure the success of the live streaming. For me, it's one of the metrics to feel how your guest wasn't at the end of the show. Because, for instance, if it feels at the end, oh, I didn't share enough, I didn't have the opportunity to talk about what I was willing to talk about, if you don't respect the interviewee, yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. If you don't enjoy yourself and you didn't get your points across, then it's a problem.
It is.
Yeah. Now, the point, because I put a few notes together just
okay.
Right.
Let's do it.
Well, the thing that about an interview and learning is to allow people to tell their stories, and we've all got stories to tell, and it's just, well, it's getting the right atmosphere so that people feel comfortable to actually tell their stories, and it's by the telling of stories that we learn from a young age, and even now, that people will come along and they will tell their stories with passion and enthusiasm, because it's their history and their story that they're talking about, and it allows us to learn and enjoy learning at the same time.
Absolutely, because, for instance, I've been recording a podcast a while ago. I just had time to finish the recording and come here. And some questions my host put to me, I answer with my own experience, my own story. I didn't have, because it's, when you talk about some real experience, no, I'm not talking about, it could be, it should be. No, it happened to me.
Right.
It's because, I feel, at least if you don't live the same thing, you can feel it when you're talking about your experience. So it's a good way to, because one of the things about live streaming also is that you should be the more natural as you can be. Even we talked about it before. When you start, you're frightened, you're scared. You can't even speak because, where should I look? How should I? Where my hands go? Where should I put my hands? But that's why you should do this often. It's because how more you do, more you feel comfortable, more you feel you, and it's easier for you to tell your stories, to share your point of view, to share your knowledge, if you are comfortable where you are. How do you get comfortable doing it?
It's exactly. The more you do it, the easier it gets. But do you have nerves before a show, before a broadcast? Do you get nervous?
No, I a little anxious to start, because, but nervous, not really. Well, that's a point we can share with our audience. By the way, hello, Clarendon. Welcome. How are you? One thing that I used to talk to my friends when I talk about this, and some colleagues which are also on live streaming, is how it's hard to do live streaming, because you are here in real time, 1 hour. It's exercise. It's a nice way to do fitness. Most of the times I hit the finish button and I say, oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah. It happens, but there is with doing the live. There's also, as well as the thank it's over, finished, I can relax. There's also the excitement as well. And if you get a good guest who's willing to share their stories and their knowledge, then you're learning, and you sit back after you think, wow, that was quite an experience. And it's the shows. It's not every show, but there are shows that happen on a regular basis where you think, was I part of that? They brought their expertise to the table and shared it with everybody, and everybody enjoyed it. Wow.
Absolutely. I tell you, there's times now, okay, I my self-awareness, I feel more secure, more aware of I'm doing this good and that, but there's time, oh my God, they are talking and giving amazing insights, sharing knowledge and so on, and then I'm here sitting, oh my God, how did I make this? How this guest so good come to my show?
Yeah, I mean that was the feeling. I mean, I wasn't part of the two shows you did with Lottie last week, but at the end of it, there was a buzz because of the energy between the two of you and the stories that were being told, and the story about the donkey will live long. If you missed that, then you missed a treat. But it is stories like that which make a point and leave you thinking. If you come away from a live video broadcast thinking about the topics that are discussed, then that's a win, because that's basically what we're about. It's about sharing stories and helping people to focus, and occasionally we hit the right place at the right time with the right topic, and people go away and they're driven to actually discover more, to actually change something. I mean, we're coming up to the new year, to 2020, and we've got new challenges ahead. And I think in terms of learning, one of the things that we're going to learn during the early part of 2020 is all about YouTube, because we can now broadcast to YouTube. But we're not YouTube broadcasters. We have to learn a whole new set of skills. And what better way to learn those skills than to actually interview people who've made it on YouTube? So I'm hoping that we can actually interview in 2020 those people who are very successful on YouTube. And we say hello to Kelly, because if they share,
hello, Kelly.
If they share their stories, then we can learn. And these, coming from Corinda, and these platforms are good for people to share the story. If it's on StreamYard below, these platforms are all that's needed, and Facebook Live is good. Yes, you can't do this on Facebook Live anymore, Corinda. You can't have two people on screen. Just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, and comment from Corinda. Yeah, it is live. It is live, and no second chances. And I'm glad that you joined us today, and I hope you're actually feeling better and that you get home soon. And over to Kelly, and I find Kelly's comment. Yes, it's live. We're live. Corinda, hello.
Hello, Corinda. We are here.
Right. Yeah, I mean, the other thing is that when we finish this live, it becomes a recording. And we know that sort of 80% of the views of any show are on the recording. So it's sometimes difficult to work out whether you are live or watching a recording, but the benefits are the same to a viewer. I mean, we choose to go live at 4 o'clock in Lisbon and in London because it suits us, but it's not going to suit everybody. It's 11 a.m. where Kelly is, it's 4 p.m. where Corinda is, but the timing's our choice. And I think in terms of actually going live, you've got to find the right time. I notice you go live in the evening.
Yeah, mostly. Because, for instance, in Portugal and also on Spain, even though we are side by side, that we have in the matter of fact, we are really different. For instance, we go lunch at noon mostly,
Okay.
and they go lunch 3 p.m. We have dinner at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
9 p.m. They go 10 p.m. for instance. We have different schedules.
We do.
It's curious, but it depends. For instance, when my guest is Spanish or Portuguese, I make it depending on that. But about this, one thing that comes to my mind is, and it will happen to when you're starting for sure, and even after that, when you have experience, it could happen also, which is when you're broadcasting and nobody's watching you.
Yeah, that's always, yeah.
We are a little tempted to, I shut down the video, what I'm here doing, and two things. One, someone could watch the recording, okay, so you should be on the same mood all the time. The second one, which is also really important, you are at least training. You are getting experience by doing it. So don't give up. Don't slow down just because, or lose some enthusiasm just because nobody is watching you. Don't do that, because people may watch this in record and you are getting experience by doing. So go away. Go.
Don't let don't look at the numbers. Basically, if you have a conversation with people whilst you're live, then if you meet one new person whilst you're live, as we did yesterday on the show. I mean, for example, what happened yesterday? I was on the show with David Burrows. Now, he and I have been broadcasting together for the last 2 years, and he's in Sarnia in Ontario, and I'm in Wiltshire in England. And we talk about anything and everything. And somebody joined us who'd not heard of Be Live before. Well, that was an opportunity, if ever there was one. So between us, we gave a full demonstration of Be Live over the course of 20 minutes. And that one person got their questions answered. Now, anybody who watches the replay who's in the same situation will also get their questions answered as well. So in the recording, I mean, I did... We're in the same situation as when we began on Facebook, because we don't have an audience on YouTube. It's not there. We haven't broadcast there. We use it to upload our videos, and 1 or 2 people will watch. But now that we can go live on there, we've got a new opportunity. But the thing is that when we do go live, we don't get many viewers. And I can give you for instance, I went live at 12:30 today, and I got 5 viewers. Yeah, but the content was good. I knew the content was good because I prepared it and everything. And just before the show, I went back to that same YouTube video that had 5 views when I was live, and it's now got 68. So it's not all about the live. The live creates the recording. The recording, and we were talking about this last week, is evergreen. Yeah, because the content and the concepts I talked about apply to everybody, and they will for a while to come. So don't get tied up on the numbers. If there are not numbers of people watching you live, don't worry, because they will come and catch the replay. And we proved that also with the 5 shows we did last week, where we got reasonable numbers on the live, but every video on the replay has had over 100 viewers, which is, pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
I shall release the stats on that later this week. I'm uploading the recordings to Google Drive at the moment, so they will be ready for Thursday.
I will do some watch parties, I guess.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a watch party tonight. Oh, yeah. I might have to change that. I'm running up against scheduling problems. We'll talk about that later. Right. Okay. The importance of getting insight from guests and your audience. And this is a great point, because it's not just about your guests, it's about people who are watching as well, isn't it?
Absolutely. Because people will ask you something, they could give you their point of view, they can show their perspective about things. Because, for instance, last week I've been working on a training to for trainers,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the things I talk most with my trainees, my students, was the importance about when they get to the stage to listen, to don't give your perspective as a law.
Mm-hmm.
Give them, oh, in my opinion, or at least with my experience, it happened like that. Of course, there are some opinions coming from the other side that doesn't mean that they don't make any sense. Some students, of course, they are a little provocative. They just want to tease you or something. But in most of the cases, people as another way to see things, another way to do things, another way to feel things, and you should be aware of that. You should acknowledge that, and you should think. Okay, let me think. Maybe
Mm.
it makes sense. For instance, I used to give an example that for me it's a nice way to explain this. I'm a marketing professional. We have some laws that we should rule or work based on that. But there's always an exception, or lots of them. I
Mm-hmm.
used to talk about a restaurant here. You should, when you come to Portugal, you have to go there with me. I'll take you
Right.
there to eat codfish. It's amazing. It's people used to say the best codfish I ever eat in my life was there. And believe me, we are truly experts in codfish.
Oh, yes.
If you talk to a Portuguese, it should be a codfish expert. For instance, we say on marketing that we should have lots diversity of products, a broad a broad range of products. How many dishes they have to for you to eat? Two:
Two. Mm.
codfish and meat. Just that. We used to say it should be easy to access to your business, to your products, and so on. Okay, you only get there to lunch or dinner if you had a reservation. For instance, you
Mm-hmm.
are on the street, you want to go there. Oh, can I eat there? They ask, did you have a reservation? And you say, no, then you cannot eat.
Yeah.
The best day for restaurants, usually, which is, it's usually Sunday. On
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, they are closed.
Yeah.
So, one of the things that we say also about marketing is location is very important. It's really important to be really good located so people can easily reach you. They are lost in nowhere. So, I guess we cannot give our experience what we believe as the only way to do things or the only way to think, because it's not like that. Our job is to understand and share always as a perspective,
Mm.
not as a rule, a law,
Nope.
because
Nope.
it doesn't make sense.
Being flexible. And Corinda's got a question for us, and it's a good question, which I'll read out. And Corinda does interviews, but what I've noticed is when you talk about one thing, the guest will talk about another. I don't know why they don't follow the topic all the time. I don't know if you guys get that too. So you've got a guest, you ask them a question, they answer the question, and then they go and talk about what they want to. Now, that has happened, Corinda. It's certainly happened to me. Sometimes guests have the motivation for being on the show is to promote something. So if they're there to promote their own broadcast or their book or their course, then every opportunity they're actually going to do so. Now, what I would tend to do is basically let them do it once. Then, once they've got their story out about why they're on your show, then I would quickly, as soon as they've changed the topic, change it back to the one that you want. Ask the question again, Marco.
Well, that's a nice question, Carinders. Thank you, because it happened. It happened to me also. For instance, the most the most funny example, it was with a guest I had, a lady, which is a nice friend. She made almost a script. Look, Marco, I want to talk about this,
Yeah.
and this. And after 5 minutes, the way it was by he, she was woo. That's one thing about live streaming that we should be aware of. It's sometimes we are nervous and we lost our way. Sometimes some other question, some other topic comes to the conversation, and then we go after it. You just have to measure. Is this good content? Is this good to our? It's coming with new ideas to our audience, because as I used to say, it's like the DJ. You have to feel if the music is okay and the people is dancing, let it flow.
Yeah.
Of course, if you have to talk, the title is 5 things to do on live streaming, and at the end of the second you start talking about something that has nothing to do with that. Okay, let's come up to the topic. Okay, but if you're on time, people are liking and are interacting with what you're talking about, why not?
That's it. I mean, if people are actually listening to the story and engaging with the story and commenting, then don't worry about it, Corinda.
Because sometimes it's the public, the audience, it's demanding that. So, and you know, no, you're not talking about the topic. We can talk about it in another live stream.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, we come into these shows and we've got the topic and we've got talking points on the topic, but there is no way we're actually going to cover all the talking points, because we get so involved in one of the topics that we just go off and talk about that, and the rest of the agenda just is kept till the next time we go live. And that's not a problem. It's not a problem. The problem is, in any broadcast, there's only one problem, two problems with a broadcast. One is when it's silent and people pick up on the silence. So you don't want any breaks. You want the broadcast to continue. And the second thing is that you should never set out to be negative. From my point of view, you should always help people tell their stories at their best. And if you're going to disagree with them, unless you're actually having a challenge with them about it, what they're talking about, then leave your disagreement until after the show, rather than having a disagreement on air, because that's not good.
Absolutely.
Not good at all.
Yeah, but for instance, if the guest start, for instance, I had just one that was very straight on their answers. Okay, well, tell me about this. Well, okay, it's like this, and if you want to know some more, you can go to my Congress and we'll talk about it. Okay.
What?
And what about this? Okay. And if you want to know more, we'll talk about this on my Congress.
I can see a pattern here.
But it happens a few times, not all the times. So I guess that there's one problem about almost of the things, and it's a human thing, a human issue. We focus more on the negative things that happens from times to times than we focus on the good things that happen all the time. It's our human nature. I can tell you a good example about this. Some years ago, I had to buy a new computer, a laptop, and then I was searching for computers on internet and so on, and I've seen one which was on a promotion, 200 euros less than it used to cost, and I thought, oh, it seems a good deal. I went to the store. I saw the computer. I asked the guy that was there, look, I want this computer. Oh, okay, it was a mistake. He's not on promotion. Oh, and I say, oh, come on, what's this? Well, I have to ask to my boss, as usual, seller talk. And he came again, okay, it's a special deal for you. I feel, oh, okay, I'm very important. It's a special deal for you. We can make that price 200 euros less. Okay. And I say, okay, wonderful. I didn't spend 200 more, and it was a good deal for me. But there's a problem. The computer was a little bit bigger than the one I had, so I have to buy another bag to make it. Then I went to a store to search for bags, and I found one that was really cute, nice. I loved it. I bought it. I was really happy with my new bag, and I guess 1 week later or 2 weeks later, I went again to that store just to see what they had, and I've seen the same bag, 10 euros less, cheaper. And I thought, oh my God, what an awful deal I made. But I forgot that on the main deal, I didn't spend 200 euros less. I just lost 10. But at the end, I thought, oh my God, that 10 euros. So that's our nature. We focus more on the negative part of the things, and we don't focus on the good things. And that's the point. People used to talk, and if a troll comes to your live show, if people says you're not good, what are you talking about? You don't know anything about. And for instance, I made hundreds of live streams. I just have one troll coming up to my shows. One in the hundreds. I don't hear you, Steven.
I think show production. I've done too much today.
You're nervous. It's because I'm joking.
I've turned my mic off. Yeah, we do tend to concentrate on things that go wrong rather than things that go right. And you've got to make a conscious effort to change your mindset and look at the things in the round rather than the small thing that went wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's the beauty of interviewing, that the vast majority of people we actually interview want to be interviewed, want to talk and give valuable information and exchange knowledge. And each show should be educational, informative, and hopefully we've done that today.
Also.
Hopefully we've done that today. Marco, it's over to you to close the show.
Well, thank you for all of you that are watching us live or recording. Voy también a hablar en español. Bueno, si estáis ahí, y es una buena oportunidad también para aprender un poquito de inglés. Si queréis, podéis buscarme en las redes Marco Novo para hablar un poquito más sobre este tema. Steven no está entendiendo nada de lo que estoy diciendo, por lo tanto, puedo decir lo que me dé la gana. Foi um prazer estar com vosotros. E agora em português. Para quem nos estiver a ver na gravação, é agora em direto ou na gravação, foi um gosto estar aqui convosco. Se tiverem alguma dúvida, alguma questão queiram colocar, deixem ficar aí nos comentários. Também podem procurar a mim e ao Steven nas restantes redes, porque tanto eu como o Steven, mas sobretudo o Steven, fazemos muitos vídeos em direto e é sempre vídeos em que vocês podem aprender imenso sobre várias coisas. Steven, do you understand me?
Some of the words, not all the words. My trust is total. To everybody who joined us, thank you. We'll be back next week. Take care for now.
Bye-bye.